relaxing massage, Swedish massage, back massage. We also offer advanced facials and chemical peel for that flawless glow. We are located in Kitengela Olive Business Complex opposite Nairobi Women Hospital, and we are open daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0112 229 111. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Le Refresh. Le Refresh, everything body and face.
Good afternoon and welcome at Top Prime Media News at 1 p.m. My name is Faith Masita. On the national news, Kenya has declared that it will not take sides in the escalating conflict involving Iran and the United States and Israel. In a statement released on Monday, President William Ruto said Kenyans remain neutral but strongly opposes the widening of violence across the Middle East. He warned that the growing confrontation threatens global peace and economic stability and called for urgent diplomatic engagement through the United Nations. Kenyan authorities say that they are closely monitoring the situation and have advised citizens in affected countries to remain vigilant, and as the story continues, we'll bring you more updates as it develops. And on the Kenyan news, the National Assembly has formed a special committee to oversee funeral arrangements for the late MP Emurua Dikir, Member of Parliament Johana Ngeno. In a communication dated February 28th, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, appointed the AD Parliamentary Funeral Planning Committee to coordinate the dignified send-off. The committee is chaired by Tindereti MP Julius Meli, with Buri MP Mugambi Rindikiri as the vice chair. Ngeno, a three-term legislature, died in a helicopter crash in Nandi County alongside the 5 others. President William Ruto has pledged the government to support for the coordinated burial expected later this week. And on the funeral arrangements, the final burial arrangements have been announced for the late Honorable Johana Ngeno and his 4 aides, Carlos Keter, Sportpesa Rono, Amos Kipngetich, and Nick Kosgei, with burial rites set to culminate on Friday, March 6, 2026 in Emurua Dikir. A requiem mass will be held on Wednesday, March 4, 2026 at Nairobi Baptist Church in Nairobi. The following day, Thursday, March 5, the bodies of Honorable Ngeno and Rono will leave Lee Funeral Home for overnight vigils at their respective homes in line with the Kipsigis customs. On the early morning on Friday, March 6, the bodies of Carlos Keter, Nick Kosgei, and Amos Kipngetich will depart Lee Funeral Home for Emurua Dikir. There will be no night vigil for the three as they were unmarried. All the 5 bodies will converge at Emurua Dikir Primary School grounds from 11 a.m. on Friday for the final funeral rites. Later in the evening, each family will take their loved one's body for burial at their respective homes. The solemn ceremonies are expected to draw family members, leaders, and residents as the community pays its last respects to the departed. Fare thee well to the beloved sons of the soil. And on the health matters, President William Ruto today launched the inspection of the Mtuini Hospital Dagoretti South here in Nairobi. This was one of the key development plans to improve Nairobi County social amenities that include construction of hospitals, more hospitals, roads, and affordable housing, and to also create jobs for the youth in Nairobi. And looking into the weather reports, the government has already spent 9 billion Kenya shillings on drought interventions, and the amount is expected to rise to 13 billion Kenya shillings as the dry conditions continue across the country. Speaking on Monday, Cabinet Secretary for Weather Geoffrey Ruku confirmed that the government has also set aside 1 billion Kenya shillings to prepare for possible flooding. President William Ruto's government is committed. In his statement, he said that President William Ruto's government is committed to ensuring that no resources are spared, protect lives and keep daily activities uninterrupted. Authorities say these funds are meant to safeguard communities, deliver relief quickly, and reduce impact of both drought and floods. The government assures Kenyans that it is prioritizing disaster response and that all necessary resources are deployed to protect lives and livelihoods. And on the business news, the National Treasury has proposed tougher licensing rules for the digital lenders under the Business Law Amendment Act of 2024. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi told the Senate the new framework will strengthen oversight of non-deposit taking credit providers with strict requirements targeting large lenders that dominate the market. The reforms will enhance supervision by the Central Bank of Kenya while easing compliance of rules for smaller low-risk operators. The move aims to improve consumer protection, protect transparency, and ensure stability in Kenya's fast-growing digital lending sector. Another one, Kenya has assured the public that there is no fuel shortage despite the rising tensions in the Middle East. Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi says the country has sufficient petroleum stocks to meet both local and regional demand. He confirmed that the imports have already been scheduled through the end of April 2026, guaranteeing security of supply. The assurance comes amid disruptions in the global oil markets following the threats by the Iran to target vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, a key route for global oil shipments. Wandayi says the government is closely monitoring the situation and has put contingency measures in place to ensure uninterrupted fuel supply. On the international news, in South Sudan, at least 169 people, including senior officials, were killed in a surprise attack in northern Sudan on Sunday. Authorities say the assailants are still unidentified. The SPLA-IO has denied involvement, accusing local officials of politicizing the violence. The attacks adds the growing concern about the security and the instability in the country. And there we conclude our 1 p.m. news. Continue tuning into Top Prime Media, your station, your media number one, and also continue following these news at our verified Facebook page, Top Prime Media. Thank you and have a nice day. My name is Faith Masita.